information that we needed to focus on, even when we were improvising wildly and wonderfully, always kept us within that framework.
Well, I appreciate it, especially because, and this is, Larry Charles is like, this is a guy who's behind Seinfeld, who's done Curb Your Enthusiasm, Sasha's movies. This is like a comedic mind that is so sharp and so wonderful. And, here he is like helming this huge movie and just so cool and calm. And, oftentimes we're doing these scenes that are huge amounts of people and chaos and animals and all this craziness. And you look over at Larry and he's just like, calm, cool, and collected. And if you're freaking out, like there are parts of it where I was freaking out. I was like, I don't feel like I've got this. And he was like, come here, don't worry about it. He's like really so focused, and his direction for me, this was the first movie this size that I've ever done. I've never done anything approaching this. So for me, I leaned on him a lot and found him to be like truly somebody who got me through a lot of like the crazier, more difficult sections of what I had to do, which was mostly just do boner jokes. But he was pretty fantastic, and also pretty great beard. The guy's got a pretty substantial beard on him.
Hi, this question is for both of you. We cannot, we have to realize that the Arab Spring was happening pretty much when the movie was being written and shot. So I was wondering how you related to that. Did you think when you signed for the movie, you feel there was something in the air, or was it serendipity? And what you were doing when you worked the responsibility also, although this is a comedy, the responsibility how this could portray, these dictatorships are portrayed in the movie are pretty much, I think, somehow, like you were saying, they were similar to what was going on in the movies, unfortunately.
Well, Sasha is a true member of his society. He really is. He's as I say, the opposite of the dictator, in that he has his finger on so many pulses, historically, politically, socially, which makes him a greatest comedian. He started, I think, prepping this film 2 years before the Hurricane. Seriously prepping it, writing and gestating and gathering, and therefore it's possibly serendipity, but I think it's more that amazing intuition that he has as to the direction the world is taking, and he will actually reflect it comedically, so that you get the terrible news without the pain, because it's so wonderfully funny. Then, by the time Jason and I joined, the Arab Spring had erupted. It was present in the media everywhere. So that was thrilling for us. In a sense, we were not creating a series of gags in a vacuum, but we were being political satirists in a very real, definite context. My comparison would be with Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator, which I deliberately actually bought a copy of and watched before doing all this press.
Yeah.
And it's an extraordinarily brilliant, valiant piece of filmmaking, made 2 years before the USA joined the war against Nazi Germany. And I feel that it was a great privilege for me to be with the Charlie Chaplin of the 21st century, because that's what it is.
Yeah, no, same. Like when I did a table read of the movie, and it was a movie that I'd heard had been being written for years, and it had just, like a lot of the Arab Spring stuff, because this was early on, had just started happening, and I asked them that exact question. I was like, this seems like bizarrely prescient for what's happening right now, and they were like, we know, this is crazy, this is amazing, and it really was, like, I do think those guys, Sasha and those writers, really have like their finger on the pulse of what's going on and what's out there, and also are they're looking around and are looking for characters and are looking for worlds to explore. And I think in this type of world, they saw something very rich to kind of mine. Decapitated head. I'm not gonna lie, we shot an entire shadow movie that is just me and the decapitated head. I'm here to announce that spin-off movie. Me, Savannah, and Decapitated Head. It's a buddy comedy. It's pretty terrific. It's a road movie. We have to get to Arizona so I can win my girlfriend back. And the only way to do it is with the head. Spoiler alert, we do not end up together. Are there any? No, well, you know what there were more of? There were more of the, you know, when he kind of wakes me up with the head and then in the shower with the head. There's a couple of more beats of that kind of same stuff, but it was all similar. It was all that, it was that same, we didn't shoot anything else, but any more like other scenes with the decapitated head. There was just a couple more beats of him torturing me with the head. Yeah. Did you like that? Did you like the decapitated head? You're weird.
Hi, Sir Kingsley. I would like to know if you enjoyed the kiss with Sacha Cohen. Did you have any anticipation? Did you have to take a lot of take? Was it something difficult for you to do?
Would you like to know?
I would like to know what the kiss was like.
Curious. Well, either you're going to have to kiss Sasha or me to know what it was really like. Because, you know, it's beyond description.
But was it something difficult for you when you knew that you have to do that? What went through your mind?
This is a pretty weird crowd. The bunch of weirdos.
I mean, I'm playing the guy's uncle, and I have to, in a sense, shepherd him and go along with him, but I'm not related to the double in any way. The double is somebody I've hired who is a loose cannon and needs to be guided and has no idea of social. All he knows about is ghosts. And so any ambush from that double character was completely consistent with the story and with the film. So what goes through the actor's mind when he has to make love to somebody, or kill somebody, or insult somebody, or do something potentially shocking for the audience, is part of that. I'm trying to answer your question seriously. I should get credit.
I don't mean that's not.
Yeah.
Just to jump back, there was an aggressive love scene with the decapitated head that I shot privately. There wasn't one of those. Just to be clear, that was JK.
Question about journalists. The journalists, the ABN channel people are portrayed in a very satiric way. So what's your real and right there commenting on the meaning of actions of the double and trying to...
Oh, the newscasters?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's your real take on journalists, media, and politics media?
What's our view on journalists and the media? Just to be clear, this is a room full of journalists and media.
Not necessarily us, use journalists to write.
But don't you as journalists resent the fact that anyone can blog anything in print, and it somehow has the authority of a highly trained, highly skilled journalist just because it's in print? Don't you feel that you're being robbed and diluted of your power by this constant stream of ill-considered, narrowly opinionated garbage that's floating around on the internet?
There's a lot of nodding going on. So let's go get those bloggers!
How about manipulation? It's big channels, how they manipulate.
How the news manipulates?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, in the movie, I feel like those actors do a very good job of doing something that I find pretty hilarious, which is giving us giving us an understanding of what they think he's doing when in fact they're absolutely wrong. Ascribing intent and a point of view that they could have no understanding of or no insight into. And that's, I think, a very kind of funny piece of satire on the news right now. You know, I feel like, you know, if you watch The Daily Show or any of those kind of shows, I feel like they're doing a very similar service, which is taking stuff that's actually going out on CNN or on Fox or on wherever and showing you the preposterousness of the links people are making or whatever. I don't know that I'm entirely qualified to speak on the nature of this, but I just did. So we'll see what happens. Any bloggers in the room? How about that? Identify yourself with journalistic
So Ben, some people will maybe be surprised to see you in this comedy, but the fact is that you've done comedy before and you've worked in even comedic theatre. So my question is, do you enjoy working in the comedy genre, and if so, would you like to return to it again in the future?
I find it exhilarating. A good comedy with a purpose behind it is exhilarating to be part of, and I would very much like to do more comedy. When I was a child, I was referred to as the Danny Kaye of the family because I was always impersonating and mimicking people, and I was a little song and dance man. And I really enjoyed it, yes. So I would say, unashamedly in this room, I would love to do more comedy. Didn't get any laughs, did I?
Well, they're going to laugh when we do our buddy comedy.
You insist on the fact that Sasha is the exact opposite of the Dictator a lot, and I was wondering if you were afraid that he is taking a courageous stance in this film. He's criticizing dictators, but also American politics. And are you afraid that he might be in danger somehow? He's really out there all the time with his character. He's on the brink of.
You mean, do I fear his physical role? Well, yes, somewhat. Well, not in a logical way. But sadly, the world is populated by some very strange people. I think that when I think about it, I'm still shocked that John Lennon was shot.
John Lennon was shot?
Yeah. Hang on. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think that anyone who sticks their head above the parapet at these times is taking a certain risk. But I don't consciously fear for it, but I do know that the world is a more unpredictable place year by year, and there are some very strange, resentful people out there.
I think the other thing also is, like, remember, you're talking about a man who put himself into a cage fighting ring in the South and started having gay sex with someone and caused a near riot. Like, I think one of the things that makes Sasha amazing and a genius is that he is willing to go to a place that provides a degree of danger that is so shocking and so surprising. And that surprise is, in fact, what I find quite funny. What makes these things, what makes a lot of this funny is the surprise of, I literally cannot believe this is happening right now. And I think he's done that again in the sense of putting himself in a position where he's doing something really, really impressive.
So this will be our last question. Can you hear me? Aladdin is a made-up character. Do you think it would be possible to make a movie or comedy about an existent dictator? If yes, who?
Well, Chaplin did.
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin did. Now, again, we live in more dangerous and unpredictable times. I think that there is a genuine